We talked about buying off the plan requiring a commitment from the buyer because the property is not built. It's a challenge, requires research on behalf of the buyer. The bank will not give its full support until right at the end when the property can be valued.
So this was my first property that I bought in Queensland, and yeah, I did buy it off plan, but I didn't see any challenge in buying it because everything, like, I may have had challenge, but you guys made it so simple. Everything was a bundle package and it was easier to digest. As soon as that information was given to me, it was easier to digest for me and it was easier to make the decision. So I didn't see the transition between my rental and owning a house and finally purchasing it was very smooth transition.
We spoke about the grant, and of course that $20,000 grant's nothing to be sneezed at. There are other advantages as well. Most obvious one is that the property's brand new. So in Queensland that means it has a 6.5-year structural guarantee. It means it has a 12-month defects period or rectification period for anything that's going wrong. And it has all new warranties, so every component part that goes into your brand new property is itself under warranty. These are statutory requirements that are set down, so they're legislated, they're not something that the builder or the developer can opt out of. Another main advantage of buying off the plan is if you get in early enough, you can choose your best unit within the project, depending on things like aspect or any additional features that the unit might have. Many builders who build at volume or build at scale will probably be a little bit resistant to too much customisation, but generally speaking, you can sort of fine-tune property to make it suit your needs if you purchase early enough in the life of the project. Because many off-the-plan projects appeal to investors and have a large investor market, rather than that being something to discourage a first-time buyer, I actually think it's an advantage for the first-time buyer. Typically speaking, new projects, particularly this is true in Queensland at the moment, will have very, very good rental yields. And in a low interest rate environment where interest rates are between 4 and 5%, and the rental returns for a property are 5%, that's an opportunity for a property to be considered as an investment property in the future. Now, obviously, to claim the grant and to claim the stamp duty concession in Queensland, the first home buyer has to live in the property for the first 12 months. That's non-negotiable as far as the state government's concerned. However, after that 12 months, the property can be tenanted out and it can become an investment property if the buyer chooses, or after 2 years or after 3 years. Now, because the property is new, it will have all additional benefits of an investment property that old property doesn't have. These include depreciation, low maintenance, attractiveness to tenants. New property, unlike older property, lends itself very well to investment and to attracting tenants. So if you can think of the fact that you've got a rental property that you're the tenant of, and then even if you wish to live somewhere else, or if you wish to buy a second home, or travel, a new property is very easy to manage from the point of view of property management. So it gives the buyer flexibility. So although purchasing off the plan to the first home buyer can seem daunting, it can equally be perceived as an opportunity to claim the $20,000 grant from the government, an opportunity to have a brand new property with no maintenance budget, and an opportunity to hold an asset that will be in itself a future investment asset. For these reasons, I think off-the-plan property is often underappreciated in the sense of what it can do for the first home buyer in the future if they research it properly and if they choose correctly.